Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'd like to talk to you about Red Bull. Yes, from the drinks, but we're going to talk about the business, and for a very special reason so. Red Bull is one of the most successful businesses around, yet is oftentimes not so appreciated for its success. We don't oftentimes hear a lot about Red Bull as a company that is very successful, because we rather tend to think of the Coca-Cola company or about PepsiCo as companies that are way more successful. But I would rather like to say that we think they are and that we are actually underappreciating Red Bull. So in this video, I'd like to turn this vision, this perception of us around, that Red Bull is a joke perhaps compared to the Coca-Cola company and compared to PepsiCo. Red Bull actually is the perfect example of how to take one product to the core of your firm, identify yourself around this product, and then expand your company through products, through services related to this single product, and of course the identity that you've crafted around this product, and doing all of this in such a way that it becomes synergetic, and through these synergies of course spurs your growth. So without any further ado, let's jump into this super exciting topic. So let's start from the start. Red Bull was founded in 1984, which is actually not that long ago, especially compared to PepsiCo, especially compared to the Coca-Cola company. So Red Bull is only 37 years old. And if you'd like to understand how the drink came to be, then the story starts with Dietrich Mateschitz, who is a person who got inspired by drinks that were not just drinks, but he got inspired by drinks that were actually on top of this also quite functional drinks. We're talking of course in this case about the drink Krating Daeng, which was a drink originated in Thailand. It was founded by Kaliu Yovidia as a low-priced formula for the Thai working class, for them to be more energized and to be able to work harder. And so Mateschitz offered Yovidia, after he of course found about this drink and got very interested in it, he offered Yovidia a 49% stake in a yet to be founded business around energy drinks, of course, with this Krating Daeng drink at its core. But of course Mateschitz had some conditions, which is that he wanted to tweak this drink firstly, and secondly he wanted to expand this drink internationally, and Yovidia agreed with this deal, became a co-owner actually of the business, and this whole thing, this whole interesting and perhaps coincidental start led to the launch of the Red Bull energy drink in 1987 in Austria. And it turned into a massive success internationally. Red Bull currently has a revenue of over $6 billion, and it has a net income of close to $1 billion. And of course we're talking about annual terms, right? Yearly. So how did this come to be? How did Red Bull as a business and the Red Bull drink of course become so successful? So interestingly, back in the days, energy drinks were not so popular in the West yet. Either they were not very known or the current energy drinks were not that successful. So Red Bull in that sense of course filled a massive gap in the market. Important was of course that it did this with the quality in terms of what is promised by the business, which is of course energizing people. And of course, as you see in all of the commercials of Red Bull, it tells that it can give you wings basically all the time, pointing at the fact that this is really energizing you. So a big part is all of that, filling the gap with a certain quality, but a big part of the Red Bull product's success actually comes from brilliant diversification. So what do I mean by this? So Red Bull has diversified in so many different ways. First of all, there's geographical diversification. So Red Bull diversifying in terms of the geographical markets in which it is active. And of course, in this way spurring growth. So firstly, of course, it started in Austria after having had the drink come over from Thailand. But in 1994, so 7 years after its initial introduction to Austria, Red Bull started with this massive internationalization offense. It started initiating sales in Germany in 1994. In 1995, the UK was next. 1997, it internationalized to the US. The Middle East kind of got its turn around the 2000s. In 2001, it was actually the first time that Red Bull sold 1 billion cans. Okay, so let that sink in. By 2001, Red Bull has sold 1 billion of its Red Bull energy drink cans. So now it gets even more interesting than this, because by now Red Bull sells each and every year 7.5 billion cans, right? So until 2001, all of the sales accumulated was 1 billion, and by now it's basically selling 7.5 billion cans a year. And it's very interesting to note also that even after all of these years, Red Bull still has the highest market share in the energy drink industry. So that's geographical diversification, but then there's also segment diversification. So what do I mean by that? I mean that Red Bull is actually not just focusing on one specific segment of consumers, it's actually focusing on many different types of consumer segments. So think about it. In 2003, Red Bull engaged in sugar-free drinks, and this way, of course, appealing to people who are more into drinks that, of course, are less in terms of sugar, they have a lower sugar percentage into it, and with that, of course, they're more healthy, or at least less unhealthy. And of course, this perfectly fits into the already diversified nature of the business. It has Red Bull sugar-free, and on top of this, it also has Red Bull Zero, both formulas, again, for this very specific sector. But on a segment. But on top of this, Red Bull also has many different diversifications of its initial drink, being that it has many different formulas. Let's say it has a yellow edition to its Red Bull drink, which is an edition that has tropical fruit flavor. Then it has a blue edition which has blueberry flavor. It has a red edition which has a watermelon flavor. It has a peach edition, which of course has peach flavor. It has a green edition which has a kiwi apple flavor. It has a coconut edition, of course, with coconut flavor, and this list goes on. And so aside from the fact that it's geographically diversified, I think the segment diversification is also something very, very interesting. And so while this expansion of drinks is fascinating, there's something even more fascinating than this. And of course, at this point, you're saying, what's even more fascinating than this? Well, let me tell you, Red Bull has entered into so many areas that the moment you get to understand it, how many areas and how many seemingly different and unrelated areas, this might actually blow you away. Red Bull has proven to be a mastermind in terms of business diversification. But mind you, when I'm going to tell you about all of these different businesses, keep in mind that while on paper these businesses seem to be unrelated and seem to be different, at the end of this video, I'm going to try to bundle all of these together, and I'm going to try to explain to you how they actually are very much related and how they actually lead to very much synergies. Because always, when Red Bull diversifies, is always doing it in such a way that it does lead to synergies, that there is some relationship to the initial product or to the company identity, and so that in the end, it does empower sales and company growth. So let's start from the start. One of the areas in which Red Bull is perhaps the most active in terms of business diversification is sports, normal sports and extreme sports. For example, Red Bull has its own Formula One team, but also it has its own youth academy for Formula One where it fosters talents. So in terms of its own team, well, it's basically called the Red Bull team, but it also has some other teams, be it again in the Formula One league, being in lower leagues, where it is again competing, but where it is also trying to foster talents, and talents like Vettel, like Verstappen, like Ricciardo, all careers, all racers that have been world champions or have at least gotten very close to it, all very successful drivers that have of course helped bring the Red Bull brand to even greater heights. Red Bull came also up with its own NASCAR team. It also moved into football and soccer. It has the Red Bull Salzburg team, a Red Bull Leipzig team. It has a New York Red Bulls team as well. So 3 different soccer teams in that sense. Red Bull is also a major sponsor of the EC Red Bull Salzburg hockey team. Red Bull, on top of all of this, organized a lot of sports events like an extreme relay race, soapbox racing, pump track, world championships, cliff diving, kiteboarding, extreme mountain bike, motocross, skating, paragliding, and hiking, just to name a few. But the list goes on. Red Bull has sponsored athletes whom have oftentimes done great things in all sorts of sports, in MotoGP, surfing, climbing the Niagara Falls, mountain biking, free climbing, alpine skiing, snowboarding. Red Bull actually was a major sponsor of the Red Bull Strato skydiving project, where Felix Baumgartner came down Earth from 39 kilometers high. And of course, this was a massive event that again put Red Bull out there on the map. Robbie Madison, jumping off buildings, of course, also has been a very important sponsorship to Red Bull. Like, for example, Las Vegas Arc de Triomphe jumping act, again in collaboration with Red Bull. And the Ironman sponsorships are also one of the most famous ones of Red Bull. So we've talked about a lot of sports, but Red Bull is also in general very active in aviation. There's, for example, the Flugtag, Red Bull Flugtag, which is a competition for flying with your homemade planes. There's this Flying Bulls competition, the Flying Bulls collection of planes, with its own collection of Red Bull, of old planes, which is sometimes showcases and which Red Bull sometimes uses for events. There's a Red Bull Air Race World Championship. Red Bull has been a sponsor of the first flying human to cross the English Channel. Red Bull Paper Wings competition is also an important competition, globally so, to make paper planes fly as far as possible. There's a Red Bull barnstorming organization where planes actually fly through a barn, which is always very interesting, always attracts a lot of demand, again fosters the Red Bull brand. And there's the Adore in the Sky organization where wingsuiters jumped off a plane and flew through the narrow door of a different plane. And there's also this thing called Hangar 7, which is actually an exhibition space for aviation related equipment. So this other very interesting area in which Red Bull is also very, very active is actually related to music and dance. How so, you might say? Well, look at how vast the organization of Red Bull is in the music and dance industry. So there's the Red Bull Music Academy to start with, through which it organizes workshops and festivals. Then there's the Red Bull Music Studios, which basically through which it provides equipment and an environment to artists who need it, basically. And there's Red Bull BC1, which is an international breakdancing competition. Then there's the Red Bull Tour Bus, which is a tour bus that travels the world and entertains people. There's Red Bull Music Sound Clash, which is an organization where bands with different styles basically battle with each other. There is Red Bull Records, which promotes music and which promotes musicians. Then there's Red Bull 3-Style competition, which is a DJ competition. On top of this, you have the Red Bull Dance Your Style competition, which is a street dance competition. Then the Red Bull Batalla de los Gallos, which is a freestyling competition. Red Bull Flying Bach performance, which is this performance that went viral in the sense that this performance combined on the one side breakdance and on the other side, of course, Bach. And then there are a lot of rapper sponsorships as well, again skyrocketing Red Bull as a brand. Another area which was very interesting in terms of diversification is that Red Bull moved into the film industry as well, where it especially highlighted people who have been kind of overlooked until Red Bull underscored their importance, which are stuntmen. So the Taurus Stuntman Awards is actually there to support stuntmen, and of course this fits with the Red Bull identity, Red Bull brand, in terms of being extreme, in terms of sports, in terms of energizing. So then there's also this important charity and social projects branch of Red Bull. There's this Wings for Life organization, this part where Red Bull pours a lot of money into, which is basically a charitable institution for spinal cord injury. And then there's Red Bull Amafico, which is a social entrepreneurship project through which Red Bull supports social entrepreneurship that's going to support, of course, greater good in the world. So finally, Red Bull also went into gaming, which is also a very interesting way of diversifying. Red Bull went into puzzle solving through the Red Bull Mind Gamers organization. And then there's, of course, Red Bull sponsoring a lot of esports teams, for example, within the esports games of Dota 2, and for example, within the realms of League of Legends. So a lot of things here, but I already warned you to brace yourselves for what was coming. So, but why is all of this important, you might ask? Well, whatever Red Bull has been doing, so now try to fill in the voids, try to bring it all together. Whatever has been doing, it has been doing predominantly in areas where people, like sporters, like musicians, like gamers, need to be energetic, need to be focused, and hence might need its energy drink. Right? Sports, extreme sports, festivals, musical organizations, stunt people, gaming, they're all groups, all sectors, industries where people might actually benefit from an energy drink, and where, of course, the energy drink would be amazingly branded and marketed if somebody uses the energy drink to say, hey, I'm really going to perform better with the energy drink. And so, of course, this synergy is massively going to spur Red Bull energy drink sales. And that's, of course, a major idea behind this seemingly unrelated way of diversifying. So this way, Red Bull has built an identity of cool and of extreme, of sporty, of energizing, and so on. So then an important part of what it has been doing is organizing occasions where youngsters would come together, who would consume the drink, who would get familiar with the drink, who would recommend the drink to others through festivals and through, for example, festivities. So if you bring all of this together, so Red Bull did not only diversify as a business, it also generated synergies centering actually around its drink, and with that, of course, coming up with this identity built around a drink that screams, I'm going to energize you, regardless of whatever sector you're in. The sector doesn't matter, the type of sports doesn't matter, what you do doesn't matter. It matters whether you want to be cool, extreme, energized, and so on. So it generated synergies centered around its drink, and its drinks basically fueled the events that it organized, and the events that it organized fueled, of course, the sales of the drinks. So again, bringing all of this together, what you see is that everything strengthened basically the Red Bull identity and brand of being a company all interested in energizing people, making people cool, making people achieve the extreme and sometimes even the unachievable, especially the youth. And this, of course, has led to $1 billion company that does not only appeal to, for example, the elder people, does very much so appeal to the younger people in all sorts of sectors. This will, of course, also guaranteeing a long-term income and a long-term future, long-term vision for the company. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if so, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe buttons. I wish you all the best in the world and hope to see you again anytime soon. Take care.